Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people.
Mike Tyson back in the mix, bruv. I hear he's talking about he was going to fight Jake Paul and this, that, and the other. I don't know, man. It's had me thinking, it's had me thinking about Mike Tyson and actually what he's about, man. And I guess the first thing that kind of, if you're an 80s baby, 70s baby, maybe even 60s baby, man, you remember Mike Tyson doing his thing in the 80s and 90s. And would we say he's overrated? Would we say, or is it an accurate depiction of where he should be?
I'll go first. The first question I've got to ask, I'm gonna ask a question to your question is, where do we actually rate Mike Tyson? In my personal opinion, he's a great, i.e., an icon. Now, was he the best box? Should he be in the pantheon of best boxers ever? No. I think there's a certain level of being overrated that we've given him, and that comes from obviously being the baddest man on earth, etc., etc. But the reality is, when he stepped up to those world-class fighters that he was meant to fight, he lost.
That's an interesting topic. That's an interesting point.
Yeah, he never got over the hurdle every time he stepped up to guys who were on his level.
And with that being said, here we have the biggest fanboy of all time. What do you say to me?
Yeah, I noticed you had to give me that intro because of my strong rebuttal. Listen, he's everything what they say on the tin. Yep, icon, legend, but let's not get it twisted. He was a good fighter. He wasn't somebody that just obtained all of these accolades by just fame, and he did come from a good cloth, a good student of the game. You know what I mean? He's not like these hip hop artists that just managed to get a deal and go platinum. Anybody knows me, I like to use hip hop as a sort of or football as a
analogy.
As an analogy. But yeah, to me, can't wait to get into this. He was the real deal in every aspect.
Bro, listen, sorry to burst your bubble, mate, but bad boy, yes. Exciting fighter, yes. The best at a specific moment in time, yes. But was that time limited? Yes. Yeah? Because like the Maverick said, when he stepped up to the Evander Holyfields, yeah, he couldn't do it. Furthermore, he couldn't get past Buster Douglas. And yeah, he fought a lot of, level 7, level 6 fighters and beat those up. But when he reached level 8 and 9, he couldn't do the job, mate. He couldn't do the job, unfortunately. But was he? Everyone loves a bad boy, innit? Like, my man had the cut in his hair, and he's got what's my girl? Robin Givens. That's his bird, isn't it?
Yeah, that was his girl. Yeah.
Yeah. He had Robin Givens and the money and the Tigers, and you get me? I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a bad boy. Everyone loved that, innit? But the fact of the matter is, Holyfield, Buster Douglas, Lennox Lewis, yeah. Who else can I name? There's a whole. Who's the other Donny from Brooklyn? That Riddick Bowe. Bad man like Riddick Bowe. They would have smushed him. You get me? And he avoided Riddick Bowe.
Let me add before Rilla says something. Let me add another thing. What is Mike Tyson's biggest win? What was if you were to say like Tyson Fury now has got Deontay Wilder on his record. AJ's got Klitschko on his record, right? As the big wins. What was Mike Tyson's big one? You probably say Michael Spinks, right?
Some would say Spinks.
Old man Spinks, basically.
Some would say Spinks.
Right?
Larry Holmes.
Old man Larry Holmes. You see what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying.
I mean, some would say Tony Tucker. His monument. I don't know. I like to unpack a few things before we get ahead of ourselves, though, because yeah, and I try to make it as choppy and quick as possible. You guys have to realize it's a big subject, and I'm going to try and be in and out with it. But Prime has a lot to do with this conversation.
What do you mean? What's Prime?
You do realize that, because when you're mentioning the Lennox Lewis, Maverick touched on any person who he actually stepped up against, who had credence, who was a good boxer,
Yeah.
struggled against. So what I'm trying to say is that you got to remember, Tyson had the world on his shoulders and he blossomed and peaked early at the tender age of 20, right?
That's
and
his business, bruv. That's his business.
I'm just saying there's a few facts that you guys have actually, left out. I mean, you failed to mention that. We're not talking about somebody who had the title at 28 and, or at 30, or somebody who had 40 fights and fought cab drivers, do you know what I mean? And didn't actually fight any legitimate top rank champions, Wilder. But I'm just saying this, isn't it? He had the world on his shoulders. You're forgetting that he went away for a few years, right? Everybody knows about
business,
that.
Bruv. That's his business.
No. Of course, that's his business. But what I'm trying to say, you have to throw in the mix, with a person's lifestyle, circumstances, this, that, and the third.
I'm not doing that.
Can I just ask a question? Let me
quickly
ask a question. Yeah, did he lose to Buster Douglas before or after he went away?
He lost before, but unlike Evander Holyfield.
Also, let me ask another. I'll ask another question.
I have to.
Did he lose to Lewis? Is Lewis older than him or younger than him?
Silas, I have to get to this point. Unlike Evander Holyfield, and unlike Lennox Lewis, unlike AJ, unlike Tyson Fury, they all had a chance to redeem themselves. Okay. Tyson didn't. What do you mean? He didn't get his rematch.
Wait. Listen, lads.
He didn't get his chance to be. Everybody knew he was in Japan, partying with Bobby Brown, doing whatever he was doing. He did not take that fight serious, bro. Nobody don't want to hear that at the end of the day. No, I know, that's his business.
Yeah, because you don't accept nothing from Deontay Wilder, but you accept it from Mike Tyson. But listen, Riddler, not to cut you, but time is running away from us. I apologize. Listen. You mentioned a key name, yeah? Man like the Gypsy King, yeah? And you talked about prime. Mm-hmm. Some might argue Fury's in his prime now. Do you think a prime Mike Tyson would be a prime Tyson Fury?
A prime Mike Tyson?
Yep.